Welcome back to Gaming Night. I'm your host, G.A.M.E.R here, and today, welcome to a brand new review. Today, we're going to be reviewing Super Mario RPG. That's right. I finished this game actually a couple weeks back, and I kind of just forgot to do a review on it, not gonna lie. But here I am with the review, and yeah, I'm really excited to play this, to do this review, because, well, first of all, this might actually be our first full-on Nintendo review. I know we did my thoughts and impressions on Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, but that wasn't actually a full-on review. I do think this might actually be the first full review for Nintendo this year. I do plan on doing one or two more before we start getting to new game reviews. But yeah, I do want to go ahead and talk about this one because this one actually pleasantly surprised me a lot. And yeah, I do have a lot to say on this game. So yeah, without further ado, if you haven't checked out any of what am I? Okay. If you haven't checked out any of my other reviews, make sure you go do that. We have quite a bit now. But anyway, getting started with Mario RPG. So this is a remake of the oh god, don't kill me, SNES RPG. I'm gonna say it was SNES. Okay, if it was NES, I'm so sorry, but I do believe it was SNES. Basically, Square Enix partnered with Nintendo to make an RPG for Super Mario, and they basically, in 2023, have remade that game, and you know, completely new visuals, you know, just updated a lot of the things in it, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I just did a 2023 video of the year, like all the video games that released in 2023. I did a tier list on all the games, and you know, on my favorite, and it was in my top 2 of the year. Now, you know, it's weird because I don't know which one I liked more. If I like, you know, because I'll tell you right now, some of my favorite games of the year are Hi-Fi Rush, Dead Space, Alan Wake 2 is my favorite game of the year, Spider-Man 2, FF16, Avatar, Star Wars Survivor, right? All those games. I don't know where I would put Mario RPG there. The only reason I put it in the top 2 on the tier list is because it's my favorite, one of my favorite Mario games. The tier I put it at is the tier was called Favorite. It basically meant if it was like one of my favorites of the year, and it is. I wouldn't say it was like in my one of my best games of the year, or like one of my absolute like overall favorite games of the year, but in terms of Mario and Nintendo, like it's now one of my favorite Mario games today. So I put it in my favorite tier just because of that. That doesn't mean I like it more than every other game, but it is definitely in my top. I'll say it's definitely in my top 8. Top 8 of the year. I will definitely say that, and that says a lot in this year of game because this year was jam-packed with great games. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the game. Starting off with the visuals. I mean, it's a remake, so you know that's kind of the first thing you're gonna jump to with a remake like this, and oh, it's so good. It's so good. It reminds me so much of Link's Awakening, which is why I love it. Not quite to the level. I wish they kind of polished it up and did a little bit more. Gave it a little more spice, just like Link's Awakening, because Link's Awakening is another level. That is like a remake done perfectly. I kind of wish it looked a little bit more like that, but I think what they gave us, especially the cutscenes honestly look better than Link's Awakening, low-key. The cutscenes are brilliantly, like, just beautiful and super colorful, and I just love the look of them. But the gameplay, it looks great. I mean, it looks modernized, but you can definitely tell it's a remake of a really, really old game. And yeah, that's what I have to say about the visuals. But the real stars of the show. Also, I'll go ahead and mention the music is just phenomenal as well. Just like all of Mario games ever, right? Just like every Mario game ever. The music is just so good. I mean, even the music is incorporated with some enemy attacks. Like, you'll hear some of the enemies do, like, this little hum to, like, the main theme of the game, which is just so cool. I love how they use that. There's even, like, levels where you have to, like, make this, like, little music, note pattern with, like, these tadpoles. You have to jump on them and everything, and that's really cool as well. So, yeah, the music really is just really special. But the big stars of the show here. Number one, the gameplay, of course. The game, it is a RPG strategy, turn-based combat game, so the combat is a huge part of the game. And it's so good. It reminds me that, and it just further cements my idea that I might actually be a bigger strategy fan than I let on. I think I actually love the genre, and I don't give it enough credit, and I don't try it enough. Because, I mean, after Mario plus Rabbids, which is now in my top 5 favorite games of all time, I can't believe it. And then after this game, I've realized I freaking love this genre and this combat system. It is so good. They only improved it with the attack gauge, whatever you want to call it. You can, like, I don't know if this was in the original. I never played the original, but the fact that you can, like, tap A as soon as the attack lands to get critical hits and stuff like that, or tap it right as you get hit to block it. It's so fun. Obviously, it's a turn-based strategy RPG. You have all the classic stuff like your party, the different attacks, items, all that stuff, boosts. It's just so good. It's so good. I love it from start to finish. It's so addicting. It makes you want to grind. It makes you want to level up. It makes you want to keep on doing it to get to the next boss fight and the next stages, new enemies. Oh my gosh, I just love it. All the equipment that you can apply to all your characters, like armor, weapons, all that stuff, man. You have no idea how many different weapons I used on all the characters, man. Man, dude, Mario and his hammer just goes crazy. But yeah, just such a fun game when it comes to combat through and through. But the biggest takeaway, and this is just how it is for so many games that end up being my favorite game of all time, and it's the story. Truthfully, gameplay is the most important thing to me. The game has to be fun, but if you want to become one of my favorite games of all time, or just a favorite game of mine in general, the story is the way to do it, and this game did that, dude. Oh my gosh. If you would have told me that a Mario story would have made me cry, I would have said, you're nuts. You're nuts. You're lying. You are giving them way too much credit than they deserve. No, I was not giving them enough credit. Holy smokes. It's not even that there are cutscenes that make you cry, moments that you're just like, oh my gosh, like, it's not like that. It's not like, oh my gosh, it's the biggest boss battle and it's so emotional. No, it's the journey the game takes you on, right? And I feel like that's kind of the overall consensus for a lot of people. Is what makes this game so special is it really does feel like a Mario journey, because one of the best things about the Mario franchise is all the characters. And it makes you fall in love with so many characters. It's not one of those games where you reach a new area, and every time you reach a new area, you unlock a new character, and it's a new storyline. You spend plenty of time with these characters. You pretty much spend almost the first, like, third of the game with just Mario and, oh my gosh, the little cloud. So Mallow was his name. Mallow. It's Mallow. You spend almost the first third of the game with just Mario and him, and it gives you so much time with them, and it gives you so much time learning about the character. And then you find Geno, it gives him backstory, and then you spend the next, like, a bunch of chapters with him, and then you spend a bunch of chapters with Bowser, and then with Peach, and it kind of just all comes together, and it all makes sense. It's not just, oh, you unlocked a new character because you need more variety with the gameplay. No, it actually makes sense, and it brings a satisfying conclusion, because through the whole game, it does all these things, whether it's small or big, that adds personality, adds character, adds depth to all the characters. It makes you just laugh. It makes you cry. It really just makes you so attached to these characters, because you really feel like you're going on this journey with them. Not just the game is shoving a cutscene in your face to be like, yeah, this character did this cool thing, and you see it, now go fight a battle. No, you're doing this because the character's like this, because he wants to do this, because you need to do this to go do this, and then at the end, you all come together for your own specific reasons. All these characters have a motive. It really does put a stamp on your heart when you are done with this game, because especially the ending, when you have to say goodbye to some characters, and when you realize that the journey... I'm getting emotional just thinking about this, dude. This is crazy. When you realize that your journey is about to end, and for all we know, we're never gonna see some of these characters again, and you're never gonna get the gang back together, you know. It really, oh, dude, it hits, and the music just helps it. Truthfully, this is one of my favorite stories, and that's the thing. There's not like the coolest cutscenes, there's not, you know, the coolest villain or anything, there's not the coolest conflicts, but just the characters and the journey you go to with them is just a journey. It's completely unforgettable. It really is, and yeah, I think that's why I love this game so much. Obviously, visually, musically, the combat, I love it. I think it's so good. It's so fun. But the story just hit it so home for me. And I never really realized it until the end. It's one of those games you have to play all the way through, or you will not realize how great this game actually is. Because, truthfully, that ending is, like, game-changing. Like, it really just punches you in the gut when you get to that ending, because you're like, wow, it's over. And then you just start reflecting on everything that you did throughout the game, and it's paced beautifully. It's super consistent. Never once I feel like it dragged. Never once I feel like it was too short, too long. It was just right. So good. So good. I honestly have no complaints over this game. I really don't. Yeah, like I said, this is one of my favorite Mario games ever now. Not quite to the level of Mario plus Rabbids, I will say, but story-wise, it's just incredible. Yeah, definitely one of the best games I played on the year, for sure. I'm so thankful that I got a remake to begin with. It's been too long. I know this is some of people's favorite game of all time, and honestly, I understand why now. I low-key do. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm going to go ahead and clock this game in at a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. I think this game was something so special that you can't really get anywhere else. So yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thank you all so much for watching this review. And if you enjoyed it, definitely leave a like, leave a comment in the section down below provided, and please subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. G.A.M.E.R out. Peace.